Cadwell Park is mental. I have a little history with this track. Last year it was the scene of my biggest crash to date, and today we're back for round 3 of the F1000 Championship. It's nicknamed the Mini Nürburgring because it's narrow, dangerous and extremely challenging. It's also the best opportunity to get a podium on the calendar because it's very easy to defend. I just delivered a string of really decent results. I got 2 podiums at Silverstone racing F3 cars. I also set a lap record. At Snetterton I delivered my best finish, P6, and that was even though my rear wing broke off on the second lap. I was confident that Cadwell Park was going to be the arena that I delivered my first podium. That said, the crash was never too far from my mind. So in this 4-part series, let me tell you about this incredible circuit and about one of my most challenging and rewarding weekends of my life. So you're joining me inside my visor cam, seeing the driver's point of view through turn 1 here at 132 mile an hour, dabbing the brake, getting it rotated, back on the power flat. Now the grass comes in very quickly here, so you're trying to get the car rotated quickly to get back on the power about 90 mile an hour onto the straight. As you can see, it's not very straight, this straight, and it's very uphill, so you really need the power to drive up the hill. You're then coming to a big braking zone, 90 degree, 3rd gear right-hander. Get it whipped round. There isn't a lot of runoff there, so it's a little lift here up to short shifting to 4th and back on the power. This is a continuously bending right-hander. The grass is coming in very quick. Blind entry, or something on the road there. Blind exit. Down this hill, big braking zone, 3rd gear, car whip round, and then back on the power, dealing with a bit of oversteer. So we're going around here to the entry to the mountain. As you can see, you're still turning around the corner, big braking zone, 115 miles an hour, up the hill, round the mountain, up and over, 4 wheels off, and then into the S's. 90 mile an hour entry, 80 mile an hour, 70 up and over this lift, giving it a dab of the throttle, get it through. Slowest corner on the circuit, dealing with a lot of oversteer, and then this is the corner of doom, where I ended up crashing last year. Back on the power.
So Charlie's, what do I need to change for this next one?
So I'm turning in too early, so I need to stay left longer and then try and meet at the curb.
Exactly. Apex at the curbing. For park, what do I need changing?
Brake later, I can brake just before the 1 rather than 1.5.
Exactly. Closer to the 1 than the 2. Okay. And then for the right-hander at gooseneck, what do I need changing?
So stay left longer and then meet it later at the curb where the bollard used to be, but keep the left turn in the same.
Yeah, the left turn in spot on. We need that nice and early, but just setting it up with that right-hander, that lets us carry more minimum. And then this whole section from the mountain onwards, now that that oil's clearing up, let's get more and more confident, rolling more and more speed. But again, it's the same sort of mentality, the discipline, delaying that initial turning,
Delaying the turning and feathering the throttle to keep the traction.
Yeah, exactly. You're using the throttle as your platform control. Okay, that's the key point there. So I'm happy with that. Good first session. Let's build on it. Let's keep going.
Sounds good.
We've got on. We've changed the front sprocket. We've gone down 1 tooth. So what that's going to do is it's going to give us more revs, more bottom end effectively. So we're utilising all the revs, which we weren't really doing in that one.
Yeah.
And then I also want to go more front wing as well.
Yeah, we definitely need front wing. Understeer was crazy.
Good job. Let's do it. Still understeering, aren't you?
Yeah, I keep missing that apex, and even when I hit it, it still threw me out. It is quite understeery, right?
Yeah, it is a bit, yeah. I don't mind the line, but what I don't like is the lock. Yeah, that's what I don't like, because then we're just nailing that front left. And then that's not going to help by the end of Sunday. We're doing that all weekend.
Yeah, just
that's what I want to get rid of.
Using a bit more of a brake. The only other thing we could do, if it helps, is we could just try softening the bump a little bit by the looks of that. It doesn't really
on the front
onto that outside front, does it? It's kind of stiff and just kind of across rather than rolling onto it.
How much does that affect these cars in the high speed? Because obviously that affects it.
I don't think it'll affect it because if you soften the bumper, the only thing is it's going to push it down, so you actually have more air and effect anyway.
Yeah, because that then front left's digging in more. Should we do that then? Like, what do you reckon? 2 clicks or?
2 clicks off on the bumper.
Okay.
2 clicks off on the bump.
Yeah, soft.
Yeah, I think so.
And the thing is, even if you're going to do a brake, that'll help 12 clicks.
It moves more.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think that sounds good.
Okay. And we're siding with tyres as well, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay. So that'll take a few laps to come in.
Woo, what a day. That's testing done here at Cadwell Park. It was a good day. It was a hot day. Yeah, I think it was, what, 28 degrees today? It was roasting. Not great when you got fireproof underwear and like leggings and really thick race suit. Black as well, of course. So yeah, it was a hot one. Concentration levels were dipping, but a really good day actually. I think I was in the 127s for the first session. By the end of the day, I did like a mid 124, so improved a lot on the time. We made a few setup changes and it helped a bit, but not massively. So what we then did was we then softened the rebound on the front suspension. It makes the rear a bit more unstable, but you kind of want that because I was struggling to get the car rotated. But after that, it was really good. So the third session, I actually went a bit slower than the second because I was getting used to this new way of driving, this new style of driving. But it definitely paid dividends when it came to the final session. We went out, did about 4 or 5 laps, managed to get the fastest lap that I'd done all day. And then there was a red flag, we came in and then we just put on the new tyres, so got a pit stop, put on the new tyres to bed in, did 3 slow laps, very boring, nothing worth watching. But now the tyres are bedded in, so Quali should be going well, I can go straight out. Working with George, so got quite a lot of good footage, really exciting. Working with Matt, my driver coach, he's the reason that I managed to get those 3 seconds off, really focusing on certain things like carrying more speed through turns 2 and 3, 3 getting the car rotated more so you're straighter and on the power earlier, turn 4 braking a lot later and using the brake to pivot the car, so again not turning in too early. Gooseneck, very much about positioning, like looking at the pole lap from last year, Tom Gadd's lap, making sure that you're staying as left as possible for as long as possible, getting over to the right and then quickly turning in. Later on the brakes down the hill, also being told to use third there and third up the mountain, which I was using second before and it made such a difference. So yeah, really good day, like learned a lot, like made lots of improvements. It was really satisfying actually giving feedback on how I felt the car was driving, so the understeer situation, having Matt confirm it through the footage and then having the team suggest setup changes to actually then have that translate into a better driving car. So I feel I've definitely made steps forward in understanding the car and how it drives and how I want it to drive differently to get more performance. So, but luckily didn't bin it anywhere. I had a few moments, but nothing crazy. Sam Satchwell span in front of me. Even Craig Pollard, the 24 champion, he managed to lose it in turn 1 at 135 miles an hour. So we're really excited to hopefully do my best quali ever. I believe I've got it in me. Sam's car's not quite got the setup, so I think I should be able to start ahead of him. Clennell he had a few issues with the car, so not a true time. Tom was all right today, so as always, me and Tom Westworth are gonna have a good fight tomorrow. I'm gonna say here and now that I think I'm gonna out-qualify Tom Westworth tomorrow. And then yeah, see what the race brings. As you guys know, it's basically Monaco. Quali positions, everything. You can overtake, but we just did the trap walk, which I would recommend to anyone coming here. Beautiful setting. The trap walk's incredible. It's very hilly, very steep, but what you realise is how thin the track is. So overtaking is difficult. You really got to make sure you get it right and commit, otherwise you're probably going to collide or make a mistake and touch the grass and you'll be off. Another day here at Cadwell Park. Quali this morning, bit of an interesting one. Went out for Quali and managed to put my best Quali so far, so P5. So for the first time, top 5. First time beating my teammate Tom Westworth in Quali as well. So really happy with that performance and that result. Only slight issue was the balance didn't feel right. Now the day before in testing, halfway through the day, I wasn't able to get the front turned in as well as I wanted to. So we added front wing. It helped a bit, but not enough. Or we softened the rebound on the front suspension. Worked wonders, and the final session managed to get like a 124 something. So it worked, and was feeling really comfortable with the car, getting the rotation, the pivot. But at Quali, it felt like too much. I made quite a few big mistakes, which I'll show you now. Definitely made the car almost, I think for the first race, tomorrow is another day, we've got 2 races tomorrow. It was about keeping it on the track, it was about not binning it or having a mistake. So I called Matt, my driver coach, and sort of showed him some of the footage, had a chat with him and said, like, what would you recommend? And he was like, you could go back on that rebound, so go back to the same settings as yesterday, stiffen that front suspension again, so you basically have less of the pivot, it would be more controllable. I got a bit nervous, to be honest. I was like, well, I don't want to change the setup for the race because it felt so good yesterday. But because the track was different, even the other cars, the Mazdas, the other side of the awning from us, they were saying, the track's completely different to yesterday. So on Matt's recommendation, got a bit of like confidence from Stuart, my team manager as well, to say like, is this the right call? And they're like, you'd rather a safer, more controllable car for the first race and then see if you want to change it. And it worked.